What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? My name is Matt LeGrand, and on this channel, we typically talk about swimming, biking, and running. But what you might not know is that I grew up running, actually. I didn't grow up swimming or biking at all. I actually grew up running track and field and cross country, all the way through school. And then actually, I really lucked out. I got the chance to go on and run collegiately, at that Division I level. Even got to go to the NCAA championships in cross country a long time ago. And so the question that people always ask me is like, what's the secret to running fast? Like, what's this one thing that you can do to run fast? And the answer is, it's always something that they don't want to hear. And the answer is you really have to work your ass off every single day if you want to be a fast runner. But if there is some sort of like silver bullet to running faster or some sort of secret to running faster, it's gotta be running interval workouts and doing track work. But with this particular video, what I wanna do is just briefly go over like what track workout is, what interval workout is, so that you can kind of like take a workout that you get from wherever, take it to the track potentially, and be able to execute it. Okay, so let's start with the basics. If you go to your local track, your outdoor track, not like some sort of weird indoor track, what you'll find is that that particular loop around the track is exactly 400 meters if you stay in lane 1. Okay, so 400 meters, that's about 4 laps to the mile. Generally speaking, if you're saying like we're doing mile repeats, what we want you to do is 4 laps and call it good. Even though a mile is actually 1,609 meters, usually we just round off with 1,600 and call it fair. So 400 meters can also be described as a quarter mile and somewhat shortened down to quarters. So a coach might prescribe a workout that is like 12 by quarters. What they really mean is 12 by 400 with some sort of recovery in between each 400. So that would be 12 times a lap with some sort of recovery in between each one of those laps. Okay, so another small piece of terminology when people are describing workouts is kind of the way that they'll describe time. One thing that I've noticed growing up doing track and field is that coaches, and myself included, will kind of describe quarters not necessarily in like minutes and seconds, but just kind of like using it in seconds total. For example, if you're doing 6-minute mile pace on the track, you would need to run 90-second quarters. So if a coach is standing there on the track, they might say 90, 91, 92 as you're finishing your first quarter of your 12 by quarter or 12 by 400 meter workout. So a 90-second quarter is the same thing as a minute and a half. Don't get too stressed about the semantics. Just know that oftentimes track people will describe things like that. A 75-second quarter is 5-minute pace, and that when you are describing something on the track, you might describe it just like that. 75, 76, 77 for a quarter. And then typically once you go past that, when you're at an 800 and you're expected to do 800s at 3 minutes, they will use kind of more of that traditional terminology of like minutes and seconds. 3 minutes 10 for an 800, 320, whatever it is. Okay, so let's quickly go through a workout and describe it. It's Workout Wednesday. You can take this workout if you want to and use it for your training. Okay, so let's start with the warm-up. Usually about 15 minutes of running or easy jogging is gonna be helpful for your warm-up, and maybe some light plyometrics or drills to really get your body warmed up and ready for the first interval. So the interval work is the following. This particular workout is 6 by 800 or half mile on the track, and we're basically targeting our 5K goal pace. The recovery period for this particular workout is 200 meters or half a lap. So each one of these 800s, you're gonna start on one side of the track and then also the other. So for this particular pace, what you're gonna wanna aim for, let's say, for example, that you're targeting, maybe like an 1845 5K, about 6-minute pace, just because those numbers are nice and round, then you're gonna wanna hit each of your 800s in 3 minutes. And then usually what I'll recommend when I'm coaching is for an athlete to start their 800s a little bit above 3 minutes and then work their way down below 3 minutes. So maybe you want to start at 305 for your first 800 and then work your way down to 255 for your last 800. And then just similar to your warm up, what I would recommend is doing some sort of cool down, usually similar in distance, maybe 15 minutes, somewhere in that range, just to let your body cool down a little bit and maybe get a little bit of extra mileage. Okay, so hopefully this gives you some sort of starting place to work with when it comes to interval training and track workouts. I really do think that this is like one of the secret keys to being actually fast at distance running. I can't really think of any particular runner that I consider super fast that doesn't go to the track on a regular basis. For you guys, if you're just starting out, I'd probably recommend going to the track maybe like once every 10 days as you're getting started, and then maybe like as you get a little bit more accustomed to it, trying to hit the track about once per week, because it really will make a big difference in making you a faster athlete. All right, guys, if you are into this sort of stuff, and that's like swimming, biking, or running, consider subscribing. There's a subscribe button down here below somewhere. There's a like button if you're into that sort of thing. I do appreciate it. There's also a notification bell up here somewhere. If you tap that, you'll just be notified of whenever I post new videos, and I typically post stuff about once a week. And as always, I really do appreciate you guys watching these videos, and we will see you guys on the next one.